Here's an AMI This Week shortcut with Grant Hardy.
When I was 9 years old, my grandfather, who's no longer with us, gifted me my first camera, and it just kind of picked up from there. There's never been a time where a camera hasn't been in my hand. I'm Angela Waldick. I'm a legally blind sports photographer, apparently the first in history, according to the Nanaimo Night Owls, which are one of my biggest clients.
Angela has always been passionate about photography. Then, 7 years ago, she lost the majority of vision in her right eye in a household accident.
I had just moved into the place I'm living in, and none of the shelves had been yet secured, and my daughter chose to start claiming a shelf, and my choice were to let pretty much the only thing I could do was to shove her out of the way and put myself in harm's way. And on my right side, the optic nerve got damaged. And since then, it's been shapes and shadows on my right side.
For Angela, losing vision in her right eye was challenging.
It was heartbreaking at first for me, because I had that whole thought of how can I ever do this job again, because it was something that I'd always loved to do, right? So for me, I actually found a community of fully blind photographers, and that showed me that it was entirely possible to do.
Today, Angela Waldick thrives at the work she's most passionate about with her own photography business, Nightingale's Photography in Nanaimo, BC. Angela describes some of the adaptations she uses to shoot despite her vision loss.
The majority of the time, most people will use viewfinders on their cameras whereas I'll actually use the screen on the camera to make sure that I have a balanced shot.
Near the beginning of the pandemic, she got her big break.
My name is Chris Beveridge, and I'm the online and social media manager for the Nanaimo Night Owls baseball team. We thought it would be great to start a team about 3 days before the lockdown happened. So we haven't had any games or any of the rest of it. So with the Night Owls right now, it's a lot of the creative team that actually makes up the soul of the team. So it was a really unique time for Angela and myself, for that matter, to come into the picture. So what had happened was we couldn't have any events. Nobody in the city could have any events. But we wanted to try to cheer people up a little bit. So we did kind of a sneak into the park, giant fireworks show. We didn't invite anybody because we couldn't have groups or anything like that. But we knew everyone in the city would be able to see the fireworks. So we set off these fireworks, and the next day we had pictures coming in from social media. And one group of pictures really caught our eye, and we just loved the photos that they had taken of the fireworks. And we ended up tracking that person down through social media, and lo and behold, it was Angela.
Angela describes what her role is as team photographer.
You have to be in places pretty quick to capture the images. So you need to know the game a fair bit. You need to know a bit of the stats so that you know who to capture that people want to see in photos. And you're pretty much at all of the events so that you showcase the team in the best light that you can.
The team was impressed with Angela's photography, but also how she fits in with their team culture.
Everyone on the Owls team has a good dry sense of humor, I would say. They're all eccentric. Everyone has their own character. There's no two people alike. And Angela most certainly falls into that. And the other side of it is almost everybody on the Owls is balancing the baseball life and the trips and the rest of it with the family, and Angela herself is a single mother and brings out her son and her daughter to a lot of our gigs, the photo gigs and the rest of it. And she just really fits on both ends. It's tough to find somebody that matches both the corporate culture, but also matches that niche creative culture within that. She balances both spectacularly.
As for Angela, she couldn't be happier doing the work she loves.
It's like being a kid in a candy store all over again. And you get to do that every single game.